What are you doing up here? That's new. Are you always up here? Oh, my spot. Get out of here. Okay. Welcome, viewer, to the Snow Castle map testing feedback on the VR experience Tales of Glory, presented by none other than Doc Wizard. If you're unsure what Tales of Glory is, it's a VR mass medieval combat experience. Hundreds of troops on amazing VR battlefields, with a bevy of weapons, stabbing, slashing, crushing, bludgeoning, bashing, archery, crossbowery, two-handed, polearms, maces, axes, everything you can imagine. Well, maybe not everything, but plenty of toys with which to write your own tale of glory. So we'll be doing a custom battle on the Snow Castle map. And I usually run 350 soldiers, which tends to end up in a medium-sized length. I go 50 down the row here. I haven't really changed anything since I started. And I was running at 110 about a week ago, but I've since dropped it down to 80 for better performance. And I believe it also affects pathfinding, so that seems to be a sweet spot for me. So on moderate, and the launch button is sometimes a little sticky. So there's the first little bit. And thanks for putting in the loading screen. So I've actually run this map now, I don't know, probably 12 times, and recorded a bunch of feedback. This video hopefully will synthesize everything that was a little bit more emerging and organic into a quicker, shorter feedback video. So I'm going to get right to it. I love what you've done with the maps. They look gorgeous. They're fun to fight on. There are certain things that seem like they could be eating up extra resources that look cool, but maybe can be modified to be less of a hit on poly rendering and frame rate. So like, this cloth physics flag, this, particle effect fire with the flickering and shadows, all that you're not really going to. It looks cool, but it's costing resources. Same with some of the stuff up over here. Looks like there might be a fire up in that broken tower, and just the fact that that one's broken, I mean, there's so many polys and angles there that you have to render. So some of those I might say simplify, make it just a cylinder with a skin instead of, a multi-poly object, and just really be aware of these kind of extra flash areas that you don't really fight in, taking up resources. I think will overall help with pathfinding and overall gameplay because there'll be less poly surrender. So let's actually get, there we go. That one. Okay, so if you're new to the game, it's early access. I'm recording right now, so I'm taking an extra big hit. Usually the guys kind of group up for a minute before they figure out what to do. We're going to hasten things along with the selection process. It takes a light touch with the one-handed version, but it works. And one or two people are trying to run out of the group right now. But it'll take them a second. And right now I'm kind of lagging out, can't do much. Once they get off the boat, everything goes back to normal. But given that I'm recording and this seems to be the bottleneck, I'm just going to chill here until they start moving. So general observation is this area up here is really cool. I like fighting through the terraced area. There's a lot of twists and turns where people can get hung up. And I think is maybe more taxing on the pathfinding because you're having to put all these zigzaggy nodes up the hill. So one kind of big suggestion would be consider opening the paths up a little bit wider and having them go more straight up towards the tower. Maybe having one bend to that final bend. And you might encounter less of this. And, with less pathfinding nodes for them to worry about, a little bit wider area, less obstacles, might make it flow a little bit better. Okay, I'm gonna run over here and say thank you for the little surprise. I was pleasantly surprised when I found this. Indeed, for I shall wreck my foes with the flaming sword of glory. Ha ha ha! So next piece is like you have these cool houses here. Looks neat, but we don't really go in here. There's never going to be any fighting down here. So like again, all these little cracks, all these little windows. That's all just asking for rendering to go through, having to render those polys. So what I'd say is, unless you have something planned for this, make it a cube, put a door skin on it, or just a door poly. But just close it and don't have so many things you have to render inside. Like all these beams, all the support beams, all have to be rendered. And it looks like some of them are even 1 by 1. So that's a lot of polys. You can easily consolidate this and other buildings along the way to have less of a hit on what you're rendering. These guys are still here doing their thing. That's cool. They're archers hanging back using the cover. That's neat. And here we are. Okay, so everyone's kind of hung up on the terrace again. Last time it was happening over here in my post, but this time it seems here they're working it out. Like they're going for the enemies up there. But since you can't actually climb up that area, it's a little confusion. They're fighting right here, so it's to be expected that there's going to be a bit of a logjam. And again, like I would say maybe a path going a little bit wider, straight up, maybe take out this bend right here. And then maybe even the next one and keep that bend up closer to the castle. We just got off the boat, we're pushing forward. We want to get up to the main fight, which is the bridge and the castle anyway. It might just help things kind of flow a little bit more smoothly. That being said, it's looking pretty good. It's a complicated map, a lot of stuff happening. It's taking them a minute to move forward and they get hung up, but if you're cool with EA and understanding about that it's going to be a taxing game with this many troops all doing their thing, and it's not that huge a deal. But that being said, you might still be able to improve it. All right, I'm going to try and move things forward here so we can get to the next piece of advice. Oh, shield. There we go. I gotta say, I love the inventory system. I always feel like when I reach for something, I get what I want. Sometimes I can't always holster it properly. Takes 1 or 2 tries, or 1 or 2 tries to grab it. But I'm never grabbing the wrong thing, and that's the key. Like I'm never reaching for my axe and grabbing my shield by accident because they're all spread out. I love it. So this is another perfect example of There we go. You got these windows up here, you got these stairs and stuff. All that is having to be rendered by anyone over there if they look over this direction. And this is all open, but there's nothing going on up here. So I don't know, maybe put a door, check back later, or just again make it one big cube without all the interior geometry, and make windows that are covered in glass that kind of look like windows, or they're just dark textures, so it doesn't actually show the interior. Okay, so I kind of like, this last bend here. You're going up towards the castle, or towards the tower here. But again, maybe a little bit wider, a little more open. So we've got a good fight going on here. I'm going to try and get this flag just to kind of keep things moving. All right. I'm just going to make sure we capture this, so going to just chill here. So what I notice is from the keep, the enemy tend to kind of come piecemeal. And so when we all push up here, we're usually in a large group. And so what ends up happening is there tends to be more attackers fighting just a few defenders. It all coalesces into a bigger fight once you get to the bridge, usually. All right, you. But just an observation. I don't know if there's a way to have troops group up before they push out, but right now it's kind of turned into a battle. But a lot of times when I play this map, that's what I notice is like a string. You kind of see the string effect right now, like piecemeal effect. There's 4 or 5 guys kind of running down. There's a lot more of our guys. Again, if we're attacking and they're not expecting it, maybe that's the way it should be. That they're taking time to organize as we push forward. But just observation about the fight. So again, this tower, it'd be cool to fight up it. I gather that happens later, which is really fun. But I want to point out, like, I came up here with a crossbow once, and I was like, oh, let's see if I can snipe some people. And none of the windows really kind of work. I don't know if that's intentional, but you notice it's kind of clipping out there. And they're all blocked. If I go up one more story, basically the view distance, the draw distance is so far that I can't see anything other than just like the water, which I think is like underneath everything. So again, if there's no reason to go up there and the windows don't really work and you have this roof and a light and stuff and a cloth effect flag, it looks really cool, but it's all taking resources. So I might say, either make it functional to justify the cost of the polys, or again, put a door, make it one solid cube going up, and you just saved yourself tons of polys to render, and a place where there's going to be lots of battle. Alright, so our guys have pushed forward, that's super. Our melee team seems to be pushing real good. I love it. And I'm going to apologize in advance if I have to start fighting to clear the jam here. If I get a little breathy, my apologies. Battle is, after all, an exertion. Alright, well, on that note, let's clear them out. I like the flaming sword when testing. It seems to be a little bit overpowered, and since you get it early in the map, I might put it somewhere else later, but it really makes it a little easier to run through the maps having this thing. That's right, guys, good. Oh, I got an axe in my shield. So I got some guys with me. That's always appreciated. Sometimes it happens, sometimes they're back there, but come on, guys, they're coming. Keep on moving. And a lot of those back there are kind of archers. So most of the melee guys have moved up. So next piece of feedback is about this area. So there's this little door here that sometimes people get stuck in, and it causes weird pathfinding. And there's this wall here that, I don't think so, buddy, that I've noticed even if I put orders for people to go there, they kind of get blocked. And this can be an area where people get hung up. So, wow, they don't like having me here. So what I'm going to recommend is opening up this area on the left, maybe pulling the fence back, or just removing it altogether. I have to try and stay alive here. So maybe just, if you remove the whole fence on the left, then, people could kind of flow out a little more easily. There wouldn't be that blocking for the NPCs. And it would kind of maybe even help with them streaming out piecemeal, because they'd have one less thing to navigate around. Maybe put the nav point, one on this side of the gate, one just on the other, or further down. So, yeah. All right, I need to play a little more aggressively. Start clearing this out. All of you now die. Oh no. Men, forward. I have feedback to give. So, this is a pretty hard one to take. That's okay. Hard's good. I've noticed that even if I put orders from my friendly troops, they'll get hung up on the fence sometimes. Let's clear out as many as I can, though. There we go. Good. Okay. Nice. A little easier than I thought. So yeah, let me move this a little further back, and that opens up just this big melee scrap area right here, and might help with them getting out to the bridge faster. So next bit is there's two, about the left side here, and then about this little slope and this kind of rock idol right next to the wooden arch here. That area tends to get a little congested. So I'm going to see if I can, let me clear these guys out, push our guys forward some. Okay. Sneaky. Not sneaky enough. Let's make sure we still have this. Nope. So yeah, one or two guys can kind of sneak down from this corner and retake this, as our guys haven't quite pushed forward to secure it. Just an observation. So some of these scaffoldings, like, I'd love to be able to go up, maybe be able to go up on the battlements, have a flag or something up there. But I mean, the tower up here, I guess, kind of satisfies that. Oh, he's actually going up there. Last time I walked through a battlement, I just walked through it. So I don't know if that one is collision and these don't. Yeah, these don't have collision, but that one does. Let's see. Yep. Looks like it has collision. Oh, I can't go through. Cool. So there might actually be something up there. We'll check later. So, let's go on the left side here. It's probably more open. So I love this village. I love what you've done. It looks really neat. But there's not a lot of battle that usually flows through here. So like, it's kind of like there's not stuff happening. I can micromanage my troops and bring them with me. But it goes just kind of to a dead end. So although it's cool and kind of open and you can go through and, you know, rampage peasants and rearm, you know, I don't know what, I don't want to say the purpose is, but it's not really being utilized. And with that, I notice there's all these open buildings here. And again, back to my previous point, you have these windows, all those, you know, window frames or polys, all the stuff inside is getting rendered, opening over there. So, you know, unless you're giving the player a reason to go in, I would say block all the windows, make them textures, you know, and make sure that you're not having to render anything inside any of these buildings. Like all these 4 buildings or so, I think you can go in, or at least see in all 4 of them. That's all frame rate hit, I believe. I really like this bear, and the fact that, you know, villagers kind of gather around it. It's a really cool touch. I don't know what it means, but it'd be cool if there's something to it. I would say back here would be an excellent place for a flag, so you have a reason to come through here. And maybe a flag and a stairs up, because our ultimate goal is to push up there. So if we had another approach route, you know, instead of just the one, like a flag back here and some stairs adjoining, I don't know, I think that'd be pretty cool and give people definitely a reason to come back here. Now, as far as the weapon rack here goes, it's great that it's here. I like being able to rearm. Given it's the middle of the map, you know, again, these all take polys. And so, oh, again, sorry, lady. So maybe instead of 2 of each, 1 of each. Or a smaller weapon rack out, you know, in the area that has to be rendered. Or if you want to keep one of these buildings open, you can move all this stuff inside one of the buildings and then close off the windows, or at least the extraneous ones. So it becomes more like an Easter egg. And if there's only 1 door, then really, like, this door is open, the rest of it's closed. You're only going to be rendering this stuff if anyone's really able to... Oh, sorry again. I keep inadvertently killing villagers. Sorry, it was really an accident. You know, they're only going to be rendering it when they're approaching and able to see through the door. So all the fighting over there, hopefully that won't be so much of a hit. So consider putting it inside. Consider reducing the number of models and closing off the buildings. All right, so onto this little area over here. Things tend to get kind of held up here because of the little, there's a lot of obstacles and some weird ground. So you notice there's a lot of NPCs here, as typically the case. They kind of fall down and maybe get stuck in this area, and there's these things kind of blocking the pathfinding. So I might remove this stone thing and try and lower this lump right here. Lower this, kind of this earthy mound. Make it a little bit more gradual of an angle. More kind of like this going up. Take out that lump. And have a little bit more gradual angle going down towards the building. That, or maybe move all the building and stuff a little bit further forward so there isn't like the need for this sharp angle going right into the side of the building. On that note, you have this cool area here. Again, not much fighting going on. You might be able to reduce stuff, like take out all those barrels and stuff, maybe put kind of a fencey wall so people don't even bother going down here. Make sure there's no windows and stuff. I love that the maps are open, but if you're not really using that part of the map, just make sure it's not, contributing to resource gain. That's my main idea here. Okay, so let's keep pushing forward. And again, as a player, if I fall, it can be hard getting back up. And now these guys are just going to come pile up on me because we're stuck in this little, oh no, this is not fun. So let me get out of here. Oh, I hear my friendly guy screaming his war cry as he runs forward right in front of me. It's like, that's how you get friendly fired, mate. Never run in front of somebody. All right. All right, we'll try and push everybody forward. And I'll notice that they're kind of lagging back. So this whole area is a hard push. This is one of the hardest parts of this map from this point on. Not only because the guys get kind of stuck, but there isn't a flag for a while. And I wonder if we still own this flag back here. Uh-oh, I'm lagging out. Yeah, oh yeah, look, I'm all stuck down here. And somehow there's people inside here. Now, that's what's causing them to hang up right now, it looks like. I don't know that there's any way to actually go in here, but I saw the art. Yeah, there they are, they're inside. Can we go through doors? I don't think so. So yeah, somehow. Yeah, so they're just kind of dudes stuck here. And we're just going to double check that we still have the flag here. Looks like we do. I can't quite tell from here. But I think that's blue. Yeah, that's blue. Right? Yep. Okay, good. Alright, so my guys are spawning. Maybe they're just dead at this point. Maybe I just need to add more troops. No, we got a lot of archers there doing their thing. I kind of like that they're on either side. I wonder if that's something you added. Like having a little avenue in the middle for melee troops to push is kind of cool. But yeah, there's still guys kind of stuck down there. And I'm real curious how they got in there and if anyone was able to kill him. Maybe he jumped on the on the rock and ran in. Okay, so oh, it's my guy. These guys can be hard to tell the difference because you only have this end of their shirt, I guess. So it looks like things are slowing down. Makes me wonder if reinforcements are getting depleted. I got an arrow in my head. Had one. Is he dead? No, he fell down there. So that's going to hold things up too. A lot of guys just hanging out. So yeah, it seems like this area, there's too many like sharp angles. Like nobody can get back up here if they've fallen down. So one enemy goes off the edge and it moves everybody back down. So maybe like a dividing wall so people can't actually fall off. Or maybe, again, like another nice big fat path up. So it's all circular. So people actually go where they need to. All right, let's do it the manual way. Everybody, follow me.
Follow me.
Come on, guys. We're going up the hill. I said follow. Oh, whatever. He's going the right way. Hey, gentlemen. Come now. Do we have any melee troops? Oh, I guess probably we're at the end of our troops. So that might be why things are kind of quieted down here. Maybe I need to add like 500 instead of 350. Okay, guys. Well, nice work. So at 80 active NPCs with 350, what I've noticed is if I reach this point and don't die, this can be a very arduous fight if it's still active. But now this is the second time. Do I have? Oh, that I've come up here and it's been rather quiet, like nothing really happening. So we'll get the flag. Like the last time I got up here, I'm like, oh, there's this tower. We're gonna fight up the tower, and I'm so happy we finally have this experience. And well, there's nobody in there. So great concept. I guess I need to add more troops. I find when I add too many, it takes even longer to load, and the battles can tend to go for a while. My stamina is only is not indefinite. Okay, let's get on up here. And I think we're about done with the map. I don't really have much feedback on the rest of it since when I've gotten to this point, there haven't been many enemies left. Other than I noticed they might be a group gathered in here just kind of chilling. Oh, remember it hung up right there, it looks like. There we go. No, it looks like we got... Oh, is there a king over there? It looks like it. All right, gentlemen.
Find them.
I see somebody on the throne. There is somebody on the throne. That's cool. I have come for your keep and castle, sir. You now meet your end. This must be one of the warlords. He just grabbed his balls. Seriously? Ah! You want to gesture at me? I gesture at you. Tough. Oh, so disappointing. There we go. With my last breath, I strike thee. Well, he was more than a match for me. But then again, I had a bunch of archers hanging out outside. Anyhow, love the game. You've done amazing work. Hopefully some of the feedback on the map and areas to hopefully make performance a bit better are helpful. Anyhow, thanks again. And if you want feedback on any specific part, just let me know. I'm happy to test. But for now, I'm going to take a little break.